What if events went differently in the MCU? What if the Guardians of the Multiverse failed, and the Watcher recruited all of the movie Hulks from all across time? Welcome back, my fellow Watchers of the Multiverse, to yet another what if scenario. And in today's video, we're finally doing a Hulk No Way Home storyline by bringing in all of the movie Hulks coming together to face Ultron Infinity. Imagine a scenario where the 2003, the 2008, and the 2012 version of Hulk were all teaming up to fight Ultron Infinity in a big gamma radiation fight. Like, it's gonna be absolutely crazy. This was a scenario that I wanted to do for a very long time, and I didn't really know how to do it. So this scenario is a what if on an actual what if. So it's very weird. We've only done about 2 of these on the channel, but that being said, if you guys are new around here and would like to see tons of more content, I would highly recommend that you guys check out the Patreon as well as the Substack. Your support goes a long way to making these videos possible. But that being said, grab some popcorn and let's get into the brand new What If episode. The story begins with an intense battle raging across multiple dimensions. The Guardians of the Multiverse heroes from various realities, assembled by the Watcher, are locked in a desperate struggle against Ultron Infinity. This version of Ultron, having acquired all the Infinity Stones, is an unstoppable force, wielding the power to manipulate reality, time, and space. As the battle reaches its climax, the Guardians fight valiantly, but one by one they fall. Ultron Infinity is relentless, using the full power of the Infinity Stones to crush his enemies. The Watcher, who has sworn only to observe, watches in horror as the heroes he once believed could save the multiverse are obliterated. The last Guardian, perhaps a version of Doctor Strange, conjures a final spell in a desperate attempt to banish Ultron, but it's too late. With a snap of his fingers, Ultron disintegrates the remaining Guardian, leaving the multiverse defenseless. The Watcher, now alone in the void, contemplates the destruction and devastation that Ultron has unleashed. His vow of non-interference weighs heavily on him, but he knows that if he does nothing, all of existence will be consumed by Ultron's wrath. In the aftermath of the Guardian's defeat, the Watcher retreats to his observatory, a place existing outside of time and space. He surveys the multiverse, watching as Ultron Infinity begins his systematic conquest of reality. Each universe that falls under Ultron's control weakens the fabric of the multiverse itself, threatening to unravel all creation. The Watcher is torn. For eons, he has adhered strictly to his oath to observe and never intervene. But now, with the multiverse on the brink of destruction, he knows he must act. However, this time, he understands that traditional heroes won't be enough to stop Ultron. What he needs is raw power, brute force that can match Ultron's godlike abilities. After moments of deep contemplation, the Watcher decides to recruit the most powerful beings he can think of, the various incarnations of the Hulk across different realities. He knows the risks. The Hulk is a being of uncontrollable rage, and bringing multiple versions of him together could have catastrophic consequences. But with the multiverse on the line, the Watcher is willing to take that risk. The Watcher begins his journey across the multiverse, seeking out the Hulks from different realities. The Watcher arrives in a world that is already in ruins, the aftermath of an incursion. Here, Bruce Banner from the 2003 Hulk film lives a solitary existence. barely surviving in a world where time and reality have become distorted. This Banner is older, more isolated, and burdened by the weight of his existence. The Watcher appears before him, explaining the dire situation and the need for his power. Despite his reluctance, Banner agrees, knowing that his strength might finally be used for something greater than himself. In another reality, the Watcher finds the 2008 Hulk from the Incredible Hulk, who is on the run, trying to avoid both the military and the monster within. This Banner is wary, always looking over his shoulder, fearing the destruction he might cause if he loses control. The Watcher convinces him that hiding is no longer an option. His power is needed to save countless lives. Though hesitant, Banner understands the gravity of the situation and agrees to join the Watcher. Finally, the Watcher arrives in the aftermath of the Battle of New York, where the 2012 Hulk is contemplating his role as both a hero and a monster. The Watcher tells him of the multiverse's peril and the defeat of the Guardians. Banner, still grappling with his dual identity, sees this as an opportunity to use the Hulk's power for the greater good. With some trepidation, he agrees to follow the Watcher. The Watcher brings the three Bruce Banners to a desolate world, a dead timeline, where an incursion has already occurred. This timeline is a twisted, decaying version of the 2003 universe, filled with remnants of other realities that collided and destroyed each other. The sky is a fractured mix of colors, with shards of broken realities floating aimlessly. The ground is unstable, shifting as the timeline continues to disintegrate. As the three Banners look around, they realize the gravity of the situation. The Watcher explains that this world is where they will face Ultron Infinity. It's a place outside of time, where the Hulk's power can be unleashed without fear of collateral damage to other realities. However, the Banners also understand that if they fail here, there will be nothing left to stop Ultron. The three Bruce Banners convene, each bringing their unique experiences and perspectives to the table. They begin discussing how they can possibly defeat a being as powerful as Ultron Infinity. They know that transforming into the Hulk is inevitable, but they want to use their combined intellect to form a strategy first. The conversation is tense. Each Banner struggles with the idea of unleashing the Hulk within them, knowing the destruction they could cause. The 2003 Banner, who has seen a world torn apart by an incursion, is particularly wary. The 2008 Banner, who has been on the run for so long, fears losing control. The 2012 Banner, who has seen the Hulk as both a hero and a monster, tries to mediate, suggesting that they need to combine their strengths both as Banners and as Hulks. They begin formulating a plan, pooling their scientific knowledge to come up with a strategy that could exploit Ultron's weaknesses. However, they know that at some point they will have to let the Hulk out. The first act ends with the Banners realizing that they are the last hope for the multiverse, and the weight of that responsibility presses down on them as they prepare for the battle to come. The three Bruce Banners standing in the dead timeline, each deep in thought as they finalize their strategy. The atmosphere is tense, the silence of the broken world around them only amplifying the gravity of their situation. Suddenly, a surge of energy ripples through the sky. Ultron Infinity has arrived. Ultron's presence is overwhelming. He descends into the fractured landscape, his body glowing with the power of the Infinity Stones. The Banners feel the immense power radiating from him, a stark reminder of the nearly insurmountable task ahead. Ultron, confident and almost indifferent, surveys the three Banners and mocks their attempts to stop him. He sees them as nothing more than obstacles in his path to complete domination of the multiverse. With a dismissive wave of his hand, Ultron begins manipulating the environment, tearing open rifts in the fabric of reality. The ground shakes as fragments of other timelines begin to merge into the dead world, creating chaotic and dangerous obstacles. The Banners, feeling the pressure of time running out, know they must act quickly before Ultron completely destabilizes the timeline. The three Bruce Banners spring into action, using their combined intellect to fight Ultron without immediately transforming into the Hulk. They attempt to use their scientific knowledge and understanding of gamma radiation to set traps and weaken Ultron. 2003. Banner devises a plan to overload Ultron's systems with gamma radiation by manipulating the timeline's instability, while 2008 Banner uses his expertise in biochemistry to create a series of gamma-based weapons. 2012 Banner, drawing from his experience in battle, coordinates their efforts, ensuring that every move is precise and calculated. Despite their best efforts, it becomes apparent that Ultron is far too powerful to be brought down by intellect alone. He effortlessly counters their traps, using the Infinity Stones to alter the very laws of physics. Each attempt to weaken him only serves to increase his anger, and with a single blast of energy, Ultron shatters the ground beneath the Banners, sending them sprawling. As they scramble to recover, Ultron advances on them, his confidence unshaken. He taunts them, reminding them of their failures and how their strength as Hulks is nothing compared to his power. The Banners, bruised and battered, realize that they are out of options. It's time to let the Hulk out. With no other choice, the Banners begin to transform. The rage within each of them, held back for so long, finally erupts. The ground trembles as the three Banners morph into their Hulk forms, each one distinct yet united by their shared fury. The raw power of the 2003 Hulk is unleashed, his muscles bulging as he towers over the landscape. This Hulk is primal, driven by pure instinct and rage, his green skin glistening with gamma energy. The 2008 Hulk, battle-hardened and brutal, emerges next. His movements are swift and precise, his eyes burning with controlled anger. He is a weapon honed by years of survival and combat. The 2012 Hulk, the most experienced of the three, roars as he fully transforms. His presence is commanding, a force of nature ready to be unleashed. He is both a hero and a monster, and he knows that he must walk the line between the two to succeed. The three Hulks stand united, their combined presence causing the fractured timeline to tremble even more. The environment around them reacts violently to their gamma energy, with reality itself beginning to warp and shift. The Hulks waste no time and charge at Ultron with all their might. The battle is insane. The three Hulks attack Ultron with everything they have, each bringing their unique fighting style to the battle. The 2003 Hulk uses his raw, uncontrollable strength to deliver massive blows, each punch shaking the ground. The 2008 Hulk, with his brutal efficiency, targets Ultron's weak points, striking with precision and force. The 2012 Hulk, drawing on his experience, uses a combination of brute force and strategic attacks, coordinating with the other Hulks to overwhelm Ultron. Ultron, however, is no ordinary opponent. He uses the Infinity Stones to counter their attacks, manipulating time to dodge their strikes, altering reality to create barriers, and using the Power Stone to retaliate with devastating energy blasts. The Hulks are relentless, but each time they seem to gain the upper hand, Ultron adapts, countering with the unimaginable power at his disposal. As the battle rages on, the dead timeline begins to deteriorate further. The unstable environment reacts violently to the gamma energy and the Infinity Stone's power. The sky fractures even more, and the ground becomes a churning mass of chaos, with fragments of other realities colliding and merging. The Hulks are pushed to their limits, but they refuse to give up. Ultron, sensing that the Hulks are beginning to weaken, decides to end the battle. He channels the full power of the Infinity Stones, creating a massive wave of energy that threatens to consume everything in its path. The Hulks, battered and exhausted, are thrown back by the sheer force of the attack. The 2003 Hulk is driven into the ground. The 2008 Hulk is sent crashing into a nearby structure, and the 2012 Hulk is hurled into the air, landing hard on the shattered ground. Ultron hovers above them, triumphant. He taunts the Hulks, telling them that their strength is nothing compared to the power of the Infinity Stones. He prepares to deliver the final blow, intending to erase them from existence entirely. As the Hulks struggle to get back up, they realize that they are outmatched. Even with all their combined strength, they cannot defeat Ultron through brute force alone. The situation is dire, and the Hulks know that they need a new plan. A plan that will require more than just the Hulk's strength. It will require the intellect of the three Bruce Banners, working together as one. All the Bruce Banners now back in their human forms, surrounded by the ruins of the collapsing timeline. They are exhausted, their bodies battered from the battle, but their minds are sharp, focused on one final plan. They know that brute strength alone cannot defeat Ultron Infinity. Only a combination of their intellect and the Hulk's power can give them a fighting chance. As they catch their breath, the Banners begin to strategize. They realize that Ultron's power comes from his mastery of the Infinity Stones, but those very stones could be his undoing. If they can somehow overload Ultron's systems with gamma radiation, enough to destabilize the stones, they might create a moment of vulnerability. However, this plan is dangerous, not only for them, but for the entire multiverse. The amount of gamma radiation required could potentially rip apart what's left of the timeline. Despite the risks, the Banners agree that this is their only option. They must coordinate their efforts perfectly, using each of their unique strengths to execute the plan. The stakes have never been higher, and they know that failure is not an option. With the plan in place, the Banners transform back into the Hulk, each bringing their own version of the Hulk's power and experience into the battle. This time, however, they are not just relying on brute force. They are working in perfect harmony, their shared intellect guiding their every move. Utilizing his raw, untamed power, the 2003 Hulk begins to tear through the unstable environment, creating massive rifts in the already fractured ground. These rifts start releasing bursts of gamma radiation, further destabilizing the timeline and increasing the gamma levels in the area. The 2008 Hulk, with his efficiency and precision, focuses on Ultron's weak points, strategically placing gamma-powered explosives that Banner devised earlier. These explosives are designed to release concentrated gamma radiation at the exact moment of impact, aiming to overload Ultron's systems. The 2012 Hulk coordinates the attack, timing each strike and maneuver perfectly. He uses his experience in battle to distract Ultron, drawing his attention away from the other Hulk's activities. Every punch, every roar is calculated to keep Ultron off balance, giving the other Hulks the time they need to set the trap. As the Hulks execute their plan, Ultron begins to realize what they are doing. He attempts to counter, using the Infinity Stones to alter reality, slow down time, and manipulate space to thwart their efforts. But the Hulks, now working as one, anticipate his every move. The gamma radiation in the area continues to rise, pushing Ultron closer to his breaking point. With the timeline on the brink of collapse and gamma radiation levels at their peak, the Hulks prepare for the final stage of their plan. They know that the only way way to ensure Ultron's defeat is to channel all of their gamma energy into one massive, coordinated attack. A move that will almost certainly destroy them in the process. As the ground beneath them begins to crack and reality itself starts to unravel, the Hulks converge on Ultron, each one pouring every ounce of their strength into the attack. The combined force of their gamma energy overloads Ultron's systems, causing the Infinity Stones to react violently. Reality begins to warp uncontrollably, with flashes of other timelines and dimensions appearing and disappearing in the chaos. Ultron, now realizing the gravity of his situation, attempts to escape, but the Hulks are relentless. They push him into the epicenter of the gamma explosion, forcing the Infinity Stones to absorb more energy than they can handle. The power of the stones becomes unstable, and for the first time, Ultron Infinity falters. In a final, desperate move, the Hulks release one last surge of gamma energy, triggering a catastrophic chain reaction. The stones begin to crack, their power spiraling out of control. Ultron screams in rage and agony as the energy consumes him, and in a blinding flash of light, he is torn apart, his body disintegrating into nothingness. The explosion from the overloaded Infinity Stones rips through the timeline, causing massive rifts in reality. The Hulks are caught in the blast, their bodies thrown across the collapsing landscape. As the dust settles, the timeline begins to stabilize, but the damage is immense. The Watcher, who has been observing the battle from afar, intervenes at the last moment. He uses his powers to pull the three banners out of the dying timeline, just as it begins to collapse entirely. The Hulks, now back in their human forms, are gravely injured, their bodies weakened from the immense strain of the battle. The Watcher returns each banner to their respective universe, allowing them to recover from the ordeal. However, they're not the same as they were before. The experience of working together, of facing Ultron Infinity, and nearly sacrificing themselves, has changed them. They each return to their lives with a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that they have saved the multiverse, even if it came at great personal cost. The Watcher stands in his observatory, looking out across the multiverse. The damage caused by Ultron Infinity's rampage will take eons to repair, and the scars left behind will never fully heal. But the multiverse is safe for now. The Watcher reflects on the events that transpired, the choices he made, and the heroes who stepped up when all seemed lost. He knows that the multiverse will always be in danger, that new threats will emerge, and that heroes will always rise to meet them. But for now, he allows himself a moment of peace, knowing that the Hulk's incredible sacrifice has bought the multiverse time. The Watcher's gaze shifts to the three Bruce Banners, each now in their own universe, continuing their lives as both Banner and Hulk. He sees the toll the battle has taken on them, but also the strength they gained from it. They are survivors, warriors, and protectors of the multiverse, even if they never sought that role. As the Watcher fades from view, his final words echo through the void. In the end, even the strongest must find strength within themselves. The multiverse endures, but the fight is never over. And that is going to be it for today's What If episode. What did you think about all of the Incredible Hulks teaming up and meeting together? It was very interesting seeing all three Bruce Banners working together against Ultron Infinity and having the Watcher choose the strongest one there is across the multiverse. It definitely would have been a very interesting scenario because the stronger Hulk gets, like the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. And when you put the 2003, the 2008, and the 2012 versions of the Incredible Hulk, all hell is going to break loose. So again, this was a very requested scenario. It was something that was in my head bouncing around for a very long time. So I'm very happy to finally just get this out to you guys. But again, let me know what you guys think about it. Do make sure to subscribe, like, share, and turn your notifications on so you and your friends are all up to date with the latest content. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the brand new What If episode. Take care and have a wonderful day. Peace out.